Alright, hey, so I want to explain how you go about optimally finding Endermen in RSG. So mobs are about to spawn. They start spawning 11 minutes after the world is created. Also 13,200 ticks, even though night starts 10 minutes or at 12,000 ticks. So monsters are going to be spawning right about now. And I'm going to show you how you should go about finding them. So the first thing to know is that you're going to be wanting to use F5 mode a lot, the toggle perspective. And I bind this to a close key so that I don't have to reach up to hit F5. So I use R, but pretty much you're going to be using this third person mode a lot in order to have better visibility and, just be able to look around you a lot more easily. So now into the actual movement. How am I going to move around this desert optimally in order to find Enderman? So pretty much mobs spawn in a radius of 128 blocks around you. And so if you move out of this radius, new mobs, they will despawn and new mobs will spawn in their place. So that's pretty much what you want to be doing. Always looking for Endermen and constantly moving so that you're respawning the mobs pretty much. You're always like refreshing the set of mobs that you're getting, hoping to find Enderman. And so the way to do this is optimally to move in a completely straight line, but more realistically in a run, you would want to circle back to where you came from so that you can go to the nether or whatever. So you're going to want to travel pretty much in a circle, but the important thing is to constantly be moving unless you're fighting Endermen pretty much. So I'm going to show you kind of what that looks like if I turn. So there I see an Enderman. Now I'd obviously fight it, but instead I'm going to keep going. And it's important that you know what kind of you're dealing with the biomes. So of course you want to be in a desert most of the time, but it's not the end of the world if you run into plains or savanna. You want to kind of take it, you want to go into it to keep spawning mobs, but kind of circle back into the desert if you can, and take it kind of wide. So I see more Endermen. I would kill them in a run, but so I'm constantly using this F3 or F5 mode, and both of the modes to see around me. And I'm going, and you want to get out of these water areas as fast as possible, of course. And important to note that mobs will spawn until 19 minutes after the world is created. And these keep cycling, so again at 31 minutes and 39 minutes, so on and so forth. So that's what you would use your timer for, to know what time of day it is and know when mobs are spawning. So I'm pretty much just going in a straight line, and after a little bit I'm gonna turn. There's a batch of Endermen there. Again, I would go and kill them. So I'm gonna kind of turn right here. I'm lucky this is kind of a big desert, and flat deserts are best. So if you can get to like a flat part of the desert, that's much better than a very hilly part of the desert, like over there. So I'm kind of going right behind me because you don't want to miss an Enderman spawning behind you. You should always be looking behind you like this. So I saw another Enderman. So I'm already getting a lot of spawns. And I'm not sure what time of day it is. I guess it's midnight or whatever the highest point of the moon is. So now I'm kind of going straight right here. And I'm going to kind of try and loop back around to where I was. And just keep doing that for as long as mobs will spawn. So there's more Endermen. So as you can see, this is spawning a lot of mobs. Because all these junk mobs, I'm going to pretty soon move out of their range and spawn more. And also, FYI, there are separate mob caps. So the point of respawning mobs is that mobs can't spawn after a certain number of them have already spawned. So this is what we call the mob cap. And there's separate mob caps for hostile and passive mobs. So these chickens and all those passive mobs are not actually going to affect how many hostile mobs can spawn. And Endermen count as hostile mobs even though they're technically neutral mobs. So I'm still just going kind of straight, but again back in that circular pattern so I can get back to where I was. Another Enderman looking behind me. This is what I mean about the hilly part. It's hard to traverse and it blocks your visibility, so you just want to get out of these hilly areas as best as possible. That's why sometimes you might want to go into plains if it's flatter than the desert. More Endermen. So as you can see, we're getting a lot of spawns. Whether the pearls will drop that much, it's up to the game, but... And there's more Endermen. So yeah, this is the best way to net a lot of mob spawns. And also along the way, you should be blowing up creepers like this. If you flint and steel them, they will always explode no matter how far away you go. So that's worth it to try and clear up the mob cap a little bit, but don't go out of your way to kill many other mobs unless you need their drops. And I am pretty much back where I started, so you know, I might repeat this one more time, maybe go a little less far, and then ultimately I want to be back around here or somewhere where there's a lava pool so that during the day I can go to the nether. So I might do this one more time to finish out the night, but it's pretty close, so I might just speed up this section. I avoided that hill right there because I don't want to have to climb that and waste all my time, so I'm just going to keep moving. The longer the longer it takes me to get up a hill, that's less time spent respawning mobs. So I'm going to kind of loop back again, just so I can get back to that lava by the time mobs stop spawning. So I would look at my timer and see how close it is to 19 minutes, or 39 minutes, or 59 minutes, whatever cycle it's on. So that's why the timer is really important. And I think it's too late now, but I think I must have seen at least a dozen Enderman spawns. So I would have been expected to get 6 pearls that night, which is pretty good. 6 pearls a night means 2 nights, obviously. So that is kind of what you're looking for, and that is how you search for mobs at nighttime.